Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about, how hard the AP Japanese exam was. For 2013, the FIQs are up on the AP Central website. It's on apstudent.collegeboard.org/ap-chinese-language-and-culture. So the FIQs should be up starting today, I guess, because it's 2 weeks after the test, so I won't be violating any College Board rules because it's after it went up. Anyways, I thought the AP Japanese test was going to be kind of difficult, but I knew I had confidence enough in which I could probably pass the exam. So when I went in the room, it wasn't too bad. Although I did fluster a little bit on the speaking portions because I was a little bit nervous. And for one of the text chat questions, it was about, I think it was like, I'm not looking at it now. It's like, アルバイト、高校生がアルバイトをしているのと、しているのと、しないのと、どっちがいいと思いますか? I think it was something like that. So, I just said, okay, it's better if students did it, and blah, 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 blah. But the thing is that you have to be careful in the conversation. Don't worry about saying too much. I always have the problem of, especially in AP Japanese class, I'd make a lot more mistakes because I was a little more confused. I had a lot of deep ideas, I had a lot of good ideas, but just trying to cram them all, into the, short period of time that you have, which is kind of ridiculous, like 20 seconds for every time in which you respond in a simulated conversation, and like 2 minutes for a cultural presentation, which you have to hit like 5 aspects, give your opinion, state an introduction, and state a conclusion is kind of daunting. And I realized that the harsh way, and I'm glad they told me, because even if I thought my sentence structures were a little too simple and not to the level of AP, I did throw in some higher level vocab words and higher level kanji to maybe compensate, because I'm worried about making that one little mistake in which my teacher's so upset about. But I also think that the AP tests would be forgiving to those, especially people who in which at least don't speak Japanese at home or haven't spent like a substantial amount of time using the language in Japan. I think it'd be good for you too, if you could use all that stuff. And also, I thought the multiple choice was much easier than the FRQs, definitely. Because the multiple choice, for the listening, I got a little mixed up, and, it's hard to take notes that quickly because some of the selections they only play one time instead of twice. Yeah, it was just very difficult because, like, each question only appeared for 12 seconds on the screen and then it disintegrated into another question. So, you're worried, like, you're not sure. It takes like 3 minutes, it takes like 3 seconds to look at the question and think and go through the elimination process or pick, the picking process. And then once you change your mind or you want to go back to your first instinct because you dialed your first instinct in the first place, then it's gone. So, that's the end of that. So, but I think I did well enough because the reading section I thought was incredibly easy. Even though, my mother is from Hong Kong, so I do have an advantage in kanji, recognizing kanji, even though I don't know how to pronounce it. I know the close enough meaning, and it's just that, yeah, reading was very easy because there's only like 60 minutes for reading, and it was like 45 questions, and I think 45. I'm not sure. Was it? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, a certain amount of questions, and the point is that I had like 30 minutes left, and it was just like reviewing. I put check marks, and I just diminished the amount of check marks in which I was finally 100% sure about. So I think I did quite well on that. So I hope that'll curve me up, maybe. And I'm not sure if someone wants to comment below on how the curves are apparently a little bit different for non-native speakers and those who have a Japanese background or speak Japanese at home, in which they specified before taking the exam. I'm not sure, but of course the rate of getting a 5, the percentage rate of getting a 5 is much higher for those who are native speakers than non-native speakers. It's pretty obvious, but I think what's good for non-native speakers is that I heard they could have a curve and then native speakers are just plugged in, but non-native speakers apparently aren't curved against native speakers. I'm not sure. If someone wants to clarify, that would be great. But yeah, so just pointing that out there. But also, I would be careful about that compare and contrast essay. Be very careful. It's only 20 minutes, and I was surprised when I only had those 20 minutes. Like, what? What is this? It's just like, okay, and it's just 300, 400 characters. So then I always worry, and I didn't exactly know what 300, 400 characters means. 300, 400 words, but I never heard of character count. I would just like write in Japanese. So then I would do it, and I end up with 700 to 800 characters. But it was, full. It was a little confusing because I just try to cram stuff in, cram all this information, hoping that the reader would just check things off. But it's not like AP World or A-Push or anything like that. They don't, have the rubric of just checking off of things in which they're looking for, like analysis or this. They're looking for the general eloquency. That's not. Is that a word? Yeah, it sounds weird. Okay, just like how eloquent you are and how fluent you are in the language, as well as just like this, fluffy, fluffy like icing on the cake kind of stuff, as well as those concrete, solid Japanese structures. And if you could throw in a couple keigo or teinego or honjogo, something like that, and some other, high-level tango or kanji, then you would be great. And if you could use it in the right context, it would be even better. So, but I was just worried my sentence structures were a little bit too simple. But I think my use of kanji exceeded the kanji list, so that might be a good thing. So I'm not sure. I think I did pretty well. I should pass, but I'm not sure if I got a 5. I think I got a 4. I'm not exactly sure, because like I talked to some of the native speakers, and they said they didn't do as well as they thought for the speaking portion, because but most of them came to our school to test the exam. Not a lot of places around our school have the AP language, Japanese language exam. It's just not really ubiquitous language in local schools around here. So yeah, they just took it, and they thought the speaking portion was a little bit difficult because of just a sheer short amount of time, and that they're not following some sort of AP curriculum. They're just speaking it as their Japanese. So that's kind of interesting to see. So if you took the exam or you're wondering about the exam, feel free to ask any questions, leave comments, or anything like that. Thanks for watching. Bye.